This is the 30th anniversary week of the Tawana Brawley hoax, but you're not going to hear much about it in the liberal media. Mainstream journalists, after all, helped stoke hysteria about the infamous 1987 fake rape and kidnap crime, and they helped enable the toxic career of race-hustling hate preacher Al Sharpton, who lied his way all the way to the top. I was a senior in high school, and I'll never forget the details. Then 15-year-old Tawana Brawley was a New York teenager who went missing for 4 days and then was discovered on a roadside, mysteriously wrapped in a garbage bag, smeared with manure, branded with the N-word, KKK, and the word bitch scrawled in charcoal across her body. She blamed a group of white men for raping and kidnapping her. She claimed one wore a police badge. Sharpton and 2 other lawyer vultures targeted local county prosecutor Steve Pagonis as one of the attackers. They raised their fists, marched in the streets, cursed law enforcement, and scooped up reward money and donations. It all unraveled after a grand jury investigation, which Brawley refused to participate in, uncovered the elaborate hoax. Nearly 200 witnesses were interviewed and 6,000 pages of testimony amassed. Brawley had been in trouble with her parents. Witnesses said she was never missing, but instead was visiting a boyfriend in jail and then attended a party when she supposedly disappeared. Evidence pointed to Brawley herself scrawling the epithets on her own body. Despite claiming brutal rape and sodomy by 6 men over 4 days, there was 0 forensic evidence that she was raped. Brawley and her family refused to participate in the grand jury investigation, as I pointed out. Sharpton and his fellow clowns Vernon Mason and Alton Maddox repeatedly promised proof of Tawana's tall tales, but their witnesses bailed. One of their own paid experts concluded that her appearance when she was found was consistent, quote, with self-infliction and a false allegation. A neighbor testified she saw Brawley climb into the garbage bag and lie down. Brawley skipped the legal and investigative proceedings, which concluded that the whole thing was a hoax, and instead she attended a protest rally. Years after Steve Pagonis won his defamation lawsuits against Brawley and her band of fabricators, Brawley was still insisting she was a victim, still scooping up awards and accolades, and still stiffing Pagonis of his settlement. Brawley changed her name and now works as a nurse in Virginia, defiantly fighting Pagonis' quest for justice every step of the way. Tawana and her tawdry team told rape lies and racial lies. They ruined lives, and they got away with it. So, what has America learned over the last 30 years? Nothing. New race and rape hoaxes are routinely perpetuated by grifters, attention seekers, and the agenda-driven media with no consequences. Just last month, a Black Air Force Academy cadet admitted he faked racist epithets in his dorm to get out of trouble for other misconduct. The Academy had initially jumped to condemn racism and televised a top official's sanctimonious speech to the student body without having all the facts. They are protecting the hoaxer's identity and swept the incident under the rug. Then there's the black man who lied about being a student at Kansas State University and vandalized his own car with the N-word and death threats for public attention. Prosecutors declined to press charges a few weeks ago. Until the criminal justice system gets serious about prosecuting lying about crime as the serious crime that it is, we're in for another 30 years of Tawana Brawley's and Al Sharpton's dividing America and profiting from deceit.